What's up guys, Asian here again with another theory crafting video, and today we're going to be taking a look at weapon rarity and how that impacts DPS. Now I have taken a look at this issue, or I should say this theory crafting topic, before in the past. If you guys look way back in my videos, this is probably about 2.5 years old at this point at the very least, I did do a prior video taking a look at purple versus gold weapons. Now obviously that was 2017, so things have obviously changed. Our methodology has changed, and in general I thought it was time for an update, as well as include not just purple but also blue weapons as well. That's just because I have had some newer players ask me, is it worth upgrading my weapons from blue to purple based on the content that I'm running. So I figured this is a good opportunity for me to show you guys just how much of a DPS difference you will actually gain by upgrading your weapons from superior, that's blue, all the way up to legendary, that's gold. So without further ado, first the testing methodology. So I did all of this on a Nightblade. Stamina Nightblade to be specific here. Now in terms of how I went about testing all the different setups here. Now I basically tested 6 different setups because there are, in theory at the very least, 6 different possible combinations of weapons. So one of the things I did first was I am assuming that you're using an arena bow. So it's either the Master's Bow or the Maelstrom Bow. And the reason for that is, well, it's just a little bit easier to do so. I know a lot of beginner players will not be running these arena bows, so in that regard, it's going to be a little bit challenging for me to come to any good conclusions based on those combinations. If you had a blue bow versus blue front bar, etc., like that. But for most people, you should be able to get a Master's Bow or a Maelstrom Bow. Maelstrom and Dragonstar Arena, with all the power creep that's been going on, has been fairly easy. At the very least, it's easier to learn than it was even a year ago. So I am assuming that you are using the arena bows, and the arena bows only come in purple or gold rarity, so that's why we only have 6 tests here. So 3 with purple bows and 3 with gold bows, and then we did 3 tests with each blue front bar, purple front bar, and gold front bar. So starting things off here first, so this is the sets that I use. So I had to use Mechanical Acuity because I cannot get blue or purple weapons. Lokesi's weapons on the PTS, they only give me gold rarity, and obviously I can't downgrade those at all. So I'm using Mechanical Acuity here as a stand-in. Now you will notice that my jewelry is gold. Again, I'm assuming that everything else is gold. And the only thing that's happening here is you're changing up your weapon rarity. So you can see here, purple Master's Bow and blue Mechanical Acuity weapons here. So we pulled, looking at the weapon right here, 71.5k. Now, like I mentioned in the prior armor video, we're also going to be taking a look at our max stamina, max weapon damage, and a weapon crit, because obviously those change. Now, since we're using Mechanical Acuity, we're actually taking a look at mean weapon crit instead, just because max is always going to be 100%, because that's just how Mechanical Acuity works. In particular, we want to really focus in on the max weapon damage changes here as we bump up from blue to purple to gold front bar weapons. So with blue front bar weapons, we're sitting at 4798 as our max weapon damage. This next part here is with a gold Master's Bow. So this is taking a look at the difference between purple and gold backbar arena bows. Now, the DPS difference is going to change a little bit depending on whether you're using Masters or Maelstrom, but it should be fairly close. So you can see here 72.2k compared to 71.5. So we are gaining a little bit of damage from the additional bonus from the Master's Bow, and that's because we are getting some stronger infused effects, so we're having a stronger weapon damage enchant, and the caustic arrow set bonus is also increased as we go from purple to gold. So it's 290 here, and when we bump it up to gold, it bumps up to 301. Weapon damage enchant goes from 435 all the way up to 452. Small increases, but they do end up mattering a little bit here. Our max weapon damage did go up to 4823 from 4798. Obviously our max stamina and our weapon crit don't change because the Master's Bow doesn't provide any sort of bonuses there. This next one is with purple weapons across the board. So purple Master's Bow, purple Acuity weapons. We have 73.4k. So just going back here, 71.5 was with blue weapons and purple bow. 73.4 is with purple weapons and purple bow. So we're seeing a gain of about 2k DPS here. So it is definitely beneficial to upgrade your weapons here. Your max weapon damage bumps up to 4863 here. And then, of course, we have with gold, this one actually ended up being a little bit lower with the gold master's bow. It's probably just some RNG factor involved here, but 4888. So shouldn't be that big of a difference. You should only see about the same difference here, maybe 500, 600 DPS as in your rough average here. But the biggest jump is just taking a look at the purple versus the blue with the purple bow backbar. Again, it's about a 2k DPS increase. And finally, we get gold front bar with purple bows here. We're sitting at 76.1k if we go ahead and round up. And then for all gold, we're sitting at 75k. Again, this is probably just due to the crit RNG that was involved here, 70.3 versus 71.3. Yes, that extra 1% crit chance does matter a little bit here. But again, 46.1 compared to the purple, which is 73.4. So we're taking a look at about a 2.7k increase in DPS. If we go all the way back to our blue, 71.5 to 76, that is 4.5k increase in DPS from going from blue weapons all the way up to gold weapons. And our weapon max weapon damage jumped up from purple here from 4863 all the way up to 5302. Now, this is going to be a little bit more drastic with stamina DPS because we are running Nirnhoned. Magic DPS, typically speaking, won't be running Nirnhoned, so we won't be getting some additional bonuses here. But the reason for that is because Nirnhoned increases as we increase the rarity of our weapon. So with gold, we're sitting at 15% additional damage, but with purple, we're sitting at 14% on top of the already lower base damage because we're only running a purple weapon, and then blue weapons is 13%. And again, we have a lower base, so you're getting a lower percentage on a lower base, resulting in a lower additional weapon damage. You can see here, with blue, we're sitting at 1252. With purple, we're sitting at 1290. And when we're all the way up at gold, we're sitting at 1535. A humongous jump there between purple and gold weapons there. So that is the main reason why you're seeing such a big jump here with stamina DPS, with magic DPS. The jump is going to be just as noticeable, but it's going to be a smaller jump overall. So generally speaking, if you need to gold out anything in your toolkit, gold out your weapons first and gold out your front bar weapons first. As you saw there wasn't that big of a difference between a purple back bar and a gold back bar if we keep the rarity of our front bar the same. If anything, you're kind of still at the mercy of RNG a little bit. The differences there were basically within that RNG range there, just based on crit RNG and things like that. So in general, the same conclusion remains. If you have to gold out anything in your toolkit, gold out your front bar weapons, regardless of whether that's stamina or magicka. Now, if you are a stamina DPS, you have two weapons to gold out if you're running dual wield, so you're going to want to gold out your Nirnhoned weapon first because of that huge jump in the additional weapon damage that you get here. So again, 1535 compared to 1290. So definitely want to gold out that Nirnhoned dagger or axe, whatever weapon that you happen to have as your Nirnhoned trait there. So that concludes this video. Hopefully you guys found this informative. Let me know down in the comment section below whether you want me to explore something else. I'm always going to be taking a look at the older videos, probably around 2 years old now at this point, or older, and trying to update them just so that way you guys have the most up-to-date information rather than having to go back 2 years to a video that may or may not be out of date. Again, hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next dungeon.